lookbook video. So I did work today. I'm pretty tired. I worked last night as well. I wore my flannel shirt that I literally love that I bought last year from Lucky Brand, and I just love this plaid, so I wanted to wear it today. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Amicole lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow today, I went into my Oden's Eye Giant Wolves palette by Annette's Makeup Corner and Oden's Eye, and I got so many compliments on my eyeshadow today. Nothing on my outfit. But my eyeshadow, I got quite a few compliments because I absolutely love this eyeshadow palette still. This is like the top tier quality of Oden's Eye that I freaking love. And I've always had such a soft spot for this palette. It's so freaking beautiful. The way that she designed this palette, like all the mattes go so beautifully with the shimmers and how cohesive this color story is. You can do so many different looks with it, and it's just so gorgeous, and the mattes are so pigmented. I absolutely love it. So I went in with a Blaze in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Cosmos, and then I used Howling on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I am such a sucker for this multi-chrome in the palette, so I had to use the shade Eternal. And it really is such a beautiful shimmer. I love it so much, so I decided to use that, and it was just so pretty. And then for the lower lash line, well, for the inner corners, I used the shade Astral, which is such a stunning inner corner highlight. I use it every single time that I use this palette. And then for the inner part of the lower lash line, I went in with Hati to just add a little bit more sparkle. And then for the matte on the outer part of the lower lash line, I went in with Azure. So I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shades in the palette. So it just turned out so pretty. I absolutely love this palette so much. So I just wanted to use Oden's Eye today, and I'm probably going to use Oden's Eye tomorrow as well. I just wanted to start using their palettes a bit more. And then I used my Blend Bunny Brighter Days shade on the brow bone. And then for my waterline, I used the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Anywhere Black. And then for my mascara, I went in with the Essence Lash Primer, of course, and then I just went in with the Lancome Idol Mascara that I got in the little Sephora set. And then for my lower lash line, I just went in with the Maybelline Lash Discovery, of course, for my bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and then the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And I have to say, I definitely prefer this primer over the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I mean, my face feels a bit dry now, but this one definitely keeps my foundation on longer than this one does. Yesterday, my nose was pretty worn off at this point, and my forehead was pretty shiny, but not as it's not as much today. And also, like, my foundation still looks really good. So I definitely have to just use the e.l.f. one for longevity. I just wanted to use the other one because I hadn't used it in a while. So for my foundation, I just went in with my House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation in the shade 050 Fair Cool. And then for my concealer, I went into the House Labs Concealer, of course, in the shade 01 Fair Neutral. I love this concealer. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Urban Decay powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech, House Labs Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer in the shade Light Level 1. I love this bronzer. And then for my blush, I went into an old blush, but I wanted to use this for some reason. So I went into the Flower Beauty Flower Pots Powder Blush in the shade Sweet Pea. I haven't used it in so long. It kind of was a bit warmer on my cheeks than I was intending it to be, but it still looks really pretty. And then for my highlight, I wanted to go into my new Oden's Eye highlighter again. So this is the Oden's Eye Soulmate Moonlight Feel Highlighter in the shade Pink Star. So I wanted to use that, and it's just such a stunning, like, pinky purple. Absolutely perfect for this look, and I wanted to use it with the Giant Wolves palette. They're like a match made in heaven. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I just went into Oh Snap by ColourPop. And then for my lip liner, and then for my lipstick, I went into my ColourPop Lippy Stick in the shade Cami. And this is the Matte X formula. This formula is so good. And I just thought it was the perfect, like, cool tone pink. So I am going bowling with my coworkers tomorrow night. So I will see you guys then. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. It's pretty late at night, so I don't want to talk too loud. So I actually just ended up seeing one of my friends. Bowling didn't end up happening, so I went to dinner with my friend, and then we watched a couple movies afterwards. He hasn't seen like half of the Disney movies, so we watched a couple Disney movies after that. So, and we just went to our favorite place again, which is Nosh in in his town. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Amicole lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyes, I wanted to go into my Bella Beauté Bar the Sun and the Sea palette. I didn't end up using Odin's Eye, but that's not a big deal because I'm going to end up using Odin's Eye quite a bit, like once the Merry Christmas Eve palette comes. And I've been wanting to go back into this palette for a while. I haven't went back into it in probably a month or two. I don't even remember using it last month. So I'm like, I really wanted to dip into the blues again in this palette because they're so gorgeous. And this look is just so pretty. This shade on my lid is just stunning. It doesn't look as good as before, but I wasn't going to reblend it again because I'm literally taking it off, but it just looks so pretty. So I used the shade Caribbean in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Waves. And then I used Deep Dive on the outer corners. And then I went in with Siren all over the lid. I didn't get any compliments tonight, but this shade is so beyond gorgeous. I just love their shimmers. I'm like obsessed with their formula. Their shimmers are stunning. And then I used tan lines on the brow bone. I almost say brown bone because I have brown hair, so I'm like on my brown bone, but no, on the brow bone, you dumbass. And then I used the shade Sunkissed on the inner corners, which like literally their shimmers just keep their intensity like the whole time you're wearing them, and they're just so beautiful. And then I just went in with Caribbean again on the lower lash line. And that's everything I used from the palette, and it just turned out beautiful. I absolutely love this look. And then for my liner, I just went in with the same Makeup Forever liner in the shade Anywhere Black because I wanted to use black on the waterline again. So that's what I did. And then for my, I don't know where I put anything else that I used. I used the Essence Lash Primer, and then I just used my Tartelette Tubing Mascara again for my top lashes, and then I just used the Lash Discovery by Maybelline on the bottom lashes, and then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And then for my foundation, I just went in with the Lancome Teint Idol Ultra Wear Foundation in the shade 120N, and then for my concealer, I went into the Tarte C Concealer in the shade Porcelain 8S. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath powder, and then I set my face with the Urban Decay Pressed powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into, I forgot what I used for a second. I went into the NYX Matte Bronzer in the shade Medium. So I just used that. And then for my, I'm just tired, sorry. Blush, I used the House Labs blush in the shade Pomelo Peach, just because it's probably my most used blush of the whole year besides the Gucci one. I love this blush so much. So I love this blush so much. Oh my god, I'm rhyming genius here. And then for my highlight, I used the Lele Posh Cosmetics Love to Love highlight. I just thought it would be pretty. It's kind of faded though at this point. Doesn't really keep its intensity as well as the Blend Bunny does, but I just wanted to use something a little different. But if I intensify it, you can see it really nicely. But I'm actually surprised it didn't really stay on that well, but it usually lasts pretty damn well on my skin, but for some reason it didn't this time. That's bizarre. Anyway, and then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow, and then for my lips, I used my ColourPop lip liner in the shade Beeper again, and then for my lips, my lipstick, I used the Lime Crime Velveteen in the shade Lulu. I haven't used this one in quite a while, so I just wanted to use one that I really like today, and I just wanted to use a nude because I didn't want to wear anything too colorful with this look because it's already super vibrant on the eyes. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm about to head to my boyfriend's house, so I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Miko Light Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. What else is new? And then for my eyeshadow, I just went into both of the Glaminatrix palettes again. I just used one shade from the Nearly Natural palette. I just took the shade Untouched in my crease, and that's it. And then the rest of the shades are from this palette. So I went in with the Rich Romantic palette again. I really am genuinely enjoying my time with this palette. I get excited when I'm doing a look with it. Unlike the Natasha Denona palette, I think this palette's stunning. The shimmers in here are absolutely insane. And I think that these shimmers make it more special to use these. And also, even the matte shades are, you know, great deepening options. Like, you still have 4 or 5, like, shades that build depth that, like, if I have to go into this palette for, like, one crease shade, it's not really, like, a huge deal. And also, I really did want to combine the palettes when I bought this palette as well. So, then I deepened up with Admire, and then I just used Passion on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I went in with the shade Captivating. Oh my god, it's such a pretty shade. And then I just used Intoxicating on the brow bone. And then for the inner corners, I went in with Romantic. So I mostly used these 4 shades and this shade, and that's about it. But that shade is a little bit more orangey than I wanted. So then I went in with a bit of Rich over it, and it kind of made it a bit more pink. And it's just stunning. Like, these shimmers really do stand on their own, and they're just really like the star of the show. And I absolutely love Glaminatrix as a brand. I think their shadows are phenomenal. And then for my waterline, I used the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Anywhere Caffeine. It's just a really pretty, like, really subtle, soft, browny, rosy pink. And then I just used my Essence Lash Primer. And then for my mascara, I just went in with the ColourPop Act Natural. And then I just went in with my Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then for my face, I just primed with my Do It Spray and the Do It Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. Because I'm staring at a bunch of Rare Beauty products, so I just ended up saying Rare Beauty a million times. And then for my tinted moisturizer, I just went in with the Rare Beauty one again. This is the Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer in the shade 10N. And then for my concealer, I went into the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer in the shade 110 Nude Ivory. And then I just set my under eyes with the Becca powder. And then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. Let me show you my progress on this one. I swear, it's just my favorite powder ever, and I'm probably going to go through this one probably in like 2 months or something, so I'm going to have to get it back up soon. But literally, this is like probably the product I've went through the most in the past like year, and I love it. It's just such a beautiful powder. And then for my bronzer, I just went in with the Makeup by Mario bronzer in the shade, a Soft Sculpt bronzer in the shade Light. And then for my blush, I wanted to go into my Urban Decay liquid blush. Again, this is a Hydromaniac Blush Glow Hydrator in the shade Wrecked. It's just such a beautiful, like, soft liquid blush. I really do love the formula of this. It's one of the best liquid blushes I've ever tried. And then for my highlight, I wanted to go back into the Sailor Moon and ColourPop highlighter in the shade Moonlight, just to see what I thought about it again. And honestly, it is actually really pretty, but I think that's mostly the spray that I used is kind of like making it a bit more glossy looking, but it does look pretty, but it doesn't sit on the skin as well as I would hope it to be. And it does take quite a bit of building to get it to be looking good, but I don't know. It's just like there's something about it I'm not like obsessed with, but I'm not sure. Like I'm just like about it. It's not like the best highlighter from ColourPop, but it's also not like the worst thing I've ever tried. So I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. I'm still like on the fence about returning it, but I don't know if I really need it, but it is pretty. And then I set my face with the Rare Beauty spray again, and then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Blush Gel. And then for my lips, I went into my Say lip blur in the shade Modern. I hadn't used this in a little while, and I absolutely love this lipstick. It's such a great formula, and it's just so comfortable, and it looks great with this look. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I just wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I just went to Ulta earlier and I got some Chipotle, and then I just filmed my favorites video, and now I'm just gonna be home for the rest of the night. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Immaculée Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. And then for my eyeshadow today, I wanted to go into the Rich Romantic palette again from Glaminatrix Cosmetics, and I wanted to use the last shade I needed to use in this palette, and also I just thought it would be really pretty with the pullover sweater that I'm wearing. So I used Devotion in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Lover, and then I used Passion on the outer corners, and then I used Romantic on the lid, and then Intoxicating on the brow bone, and then I just used Charming on the inner corners, and that's everything that I used from the palette. This palette is stunning. I really have been enjoying my time with it. It's a beautiful palette. Excuse me. Let's not spit. And then for my liner, I just went in with my, where is it? I never find my liners. Oh, that is it. I went in with the Makeup Forever brown liner in the shade Anywhere Brown. Why is everything a nightmare right now? Oh my god. And then I just used my Essence Lash Primer, and then I went in with the Tower 28 mascara because I love that mascara. It's just so good. What is this called again? Make Waves mascara. It's the only mascara that they have. Then I just used my Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes, and I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. And then for my tinted moisturizer, I went in with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh one. This is the Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Fair 1N. I love this guy. And then for my concealer, I went in with the Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser. Instant Age Rewind Eraser in the shade 9.5. I didn't even realize that they changed the name on there, and I've been using that for I don't know how long. And then I set my under eyes with the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I just decided to use this one today because I need to go into some of my other powders. And then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the ColourPop stick bronzer in the shade Laguna Beach. I just felt like using this today, and I hadn't used it in a little while, so I wanted to use that. And then for my blush, I didn't realize that I put it away, or I just put it in this bag, I think. I don't even know where I put it. Where did I put it? Well, I just used the Makeup Forever one in the shade Anywhere Peach again. I've showed this one before. I'll find it later. I don't really care right now. And then for my highlight, it's not even on my desk. I used the NARS highlighter in the shade Fort de France. I just wanted to use something I hadn't used in a little while. And this one's a really pretty, like, soft gold shade, so I wanted to use that. And then I set my face with the excuse me, with the Rare Beauty spray, and then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Blush Gel. And then for my lips, I used the Tower 28 lip crayon in the shade Mix, because I really just wanted to use that because it's just such a pretty light lippy, and I hadn't used it in a little while. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm actually going to see the Marvels tonight with my friends. We're gonna get some dinner first and probably just walk around the mall that we're going to. There is a Target in the mall that we're going to, so I kind of want to go into Target and just like look at more books. We might go around the mall first because we don't really have to eat until like 7, and I'm not really that hungry right now. Because we have like 2 hours to kill before the movie, so we can either eat when we get there or like an hour later or like a little bit after we get there. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the uh, Kaja lip oil. I'm starting to use that one now because I ran out of the Amicale one, and I really like that one too. That one's really nice. And then I just set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow today, I decided to go into my Nomad Aquavango Safari palette again. I did pull a couple of other palettes that I potentially wanted to use, but then I was like, you know what? I haven't used this palette in quite a while, and I've been wanting to dip into it again during this fall season. So I finally was able to use it again. I wasn't exactly sure if I wanted to do like a full gray look today, but I really like how this look turned out. I think it's so pretty. So I went in with, I cannot read this font whatsoever. Clash of Rhinos first in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Rumbling Elephants, and then I used Honking Hippos on the outer corners. And then for my lid, I went in with Migrating Zebras, and these are like some of my favorite shades in the palette. I think that these are really nice and pigmented, and like I've said before, the more I use this palette, the more I ended up liking it. And it turned out really pretty. It's not like super gray tone. It's more so like a cooler tone look. It's because these tones aren't necessarily like too gray. So I kind of liked going into those a bit more. This is kind of more like a forest greeny grayish shade, and I really like it. I'm going to turn my space heater off now. I'm pretty warm at this point. Yeah. I've had it on like for the past like 2 hours. I always get so cold getting up out of my bed. I've just been reading all day, so and then for my brow bone, I just went in with the Blend Bunny shade in Brighter Days, which is what I always use. And then for my inner corners, I went in with Keystone Termites. Just like a really pretty cool tone goldish shade. So yeah, I really like how this look turned out. And then for my liner, I just went in with the black liner from Makeup Forever again. I believe it's called Whatever Black. Yeah, where is it? There it is. I went in with, yeah, Whatever Black. And then I just primed my lashes with my Essence Lash Primer as per usual. And then for my mascara, I went into the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I wanted to use the Benefit one, but for some reason I couldn't find it right now. I really need to go through my makeup that I've actually hauled and like put it away. I've just been so lazy about it. But honestly, I don't know if it's because I had my primer on my lashes for a little while before I put my mascara on, because I was trying to look for the Benefit one. And sometimes if I keep my primer on for a little while and don't go in with the mascara pretty much right away, the primer can dry. But this just didn't even coat my lashes that well, so I just went over it with my, where is it? I'm not even gonna grab it. It's a mascara. It's a Tartelette Tubing Mascara. That one went over them so well and gave me like the length that I needed. So I definitely prefer that mascara. So that mascara is really good. And then I just went in with the Lash Discovery by Maybelline on my bottom lashes. I really should have just given away the Too Faced one, but I wanted to give it a shot. But whatever. I'm just like, whatever about that mascara. I don't really like it. And then I primed my face with the Do It spray and the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And then for my foundation and concealer, I just went into my Makeup Forever HD Skin Undetectable Skin Tech Foundation. This foundation will literally just morph so beautifully into any concealer you decide to use with it. Like, I used a more full coverage concealer, but I wanted a bit of a lighter coverage on my face, and sometimes like too light of a coverage of foundation can kind of look a little bit odd with a more heavy coverage concealer, but this just morphs beautifully into the concealer. I absolutely love it, and this one's the shade 1RO2. And then for the concealer, I went into my Urban Decay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 10NN. I've used this concealer quite a bit more than I actually thought I would when I first got it, and now I use it pretty much every week. It's a great concealer. And then I just set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath powder, and then I set my face with Urban Decay pressed powder, of course. And then for my bronzer, I did go into the Pat McGrath bronzer again in the shade Naked Desire, but I kind of wanted it to be a little bit deeper. So I just went over it a little bit with the House Labs in the shade Light Level 1. Those are like my two most used concealers anyway. Concealers. Bronzers. And then for my blush, I just went into my NARS blush in the shade Illicit. It's just such an easy neutral blush to use. I just didn't want to do anything too colorful today. I just didn't feel like it. And then for my highlight, I went into the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Pearl. I haven't used this in so long, and I swear the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors, they still stand the test of time as being one of the best highlighters on the market. It's just stunning. Like, I might have swiped once into the pan and it's like instant pigmentation as soon as you put it on. It's so beautiful. And then I set I don't know if my friend is here or not. I told him 5:30. No, he's not here yet. And then I set my face with my Milk Makeup Setting Spray again. And then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I went into the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Ashton. And then for my liquid lipstick, I went into my Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Bow and Arrow. This is when it was still Kat Von D, and I bought this one at Marshall's. And I missed having this one and Lolita in my collection so much that's why I decided to repurchase them at Marshall's. And I just still love this lippy. I get a compliment on this lipstick every single time I wear it. It's just the perfect cool tone nude without being too gray toned. So yeah, that's it. And then I paired it with these Lucky brand earrings, and I'm just wearing like this sweater that I can't get enough of, that I wear at least once every winter. It's just a aqua sweater from Bloomingdale's, and it's just like one of the cutest sweaters I own. It's actually not a Lucky sweater. The only thing that I'm wearing from Lucky are the earrings and the jeans that I'm wearing. So yeah. And then I just paired it with a black v-neck. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go. I've been rambling enough. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm just going to my boyfriend's house again. I did see the Marvels last night with my friend, and it was okay. It was honestly, it was alright. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the best Marvel movie. It was definitely better than Doctor Strange 2 for me, for sure. That's definitely like my least favorite Marvel movie in the past like 2 years, but this one wasn't bad. But I'm just kind of like indifferent about it. I don't really care about it, but it wasn't like it was not a fun movie, but I feel like it should have been a little bit longer, like maybe like 2 hours. But I'm glad that they didn't drag it out. So, and it was a good paced movie, but just the story was kind of like meh, whatever, So anyway, I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Kaja Lip Oil, and then I just set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, I wanted to go back into the Druid palette from Fantasy Cosmetica, because I really do want to get a little bit more use out of this palette before I get the Christmas Eve palette from Odin's Eye, but I don't think I'm going to get that. I'm even going to start using that, until December, because I refuse to use any Christmas palettes until like probably this weekend or maybe next weekend, because next weekend is Black Friday, so that's a little different. So I just used these two mattes today. I just used Root in the crease, and then I used Old Growth on the defining area and the outer corners. And then I went in all over the lid with the shade Transformation, and this shade is just so lovely. It's so gorgeous on the lids. And then I just went in with a little bit of Root on the lower lash line, and then I just used Bare Form on the inner corners, and that's everything. That's all I used, and it's just such a stunning look. I love the Fantasy Cosmetica formula. It really is a truly stunning, beautiful, easy formula to work with, and I wanted to get a little bit more use out of it, so I definitely want to go back and use it at some other point as well. And then I just used Brighter Days by Blend Bunny on the brow bone, and then for my liner, I just used my Makeup Forever liner in the shade Limitless Brown. And then I just went in with my ColourPop Act Natural mascara on the top lashes, and then I went in with the Lash Discovery by Maybelline on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It spray and then the Say Star Glow Super Gel Primer. I really need to use this up, but also, like, this was the first primer I found today instead of the Rare Beauty one, but I'm almost done with it, so I should just use it up. And then for my tinted moisturizer, I just wanted to use my Cali Ray one again because I love it, and I don't think I've used it this week, so I had to go back into it. This is the Free Dreaming Skin Wellness Diffusing Tint in the shade The One. It's just one of my favorites. I don't even know if I used it the last time I went to see him, but whatever, I still love it. And then for the concealer, I just went in with my Makeup Forever concealer. I love this concealer. It's just such a nice everyday concealer in the shade 1.1N, sorry. And then I set my under eyes with the Becca powder, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. What else is new? And then for my bronzer, I just went into my ColourPop one. I hadn't used this one in a few days, and I didn't feel like using the Makeup by Mario one. This is still my absolute favorite bronzer, so I just went into this one. And then for my blush, I actually had a new blush to use today. This is the only new makeup item I've purchased since the VIP sale and since the Christmas Eve palette. I did pick up one of the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blushes because I heard how good they are, and I've been thinking about picking up one of these like for months at this point. So this one's in the shade Pretty Peach, and it is a really, really nice blush. It went on very, very pigmented. It's a little bit drier in formula than the Milani baked blushes are. Those are still like some of my favorite blushes at the drugstore. But it's nice, and it's definitely a lot more pigmented than I thought it was going to be, and it looks so pretty on the skin. So I'm glad I used that one today. It's the first time I've used it. And then for my highlight, I went into my Pixie by Petra duo. I'm still trying to hit pan on this, but I just wanted to use the Glowy Gossamer duo in the shade Delicate Dew. I just mixed both of them together, and it's just so pretty. And then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel, and then for my lips, I went into my ColourPop Lippy Stick in the shade Cookie. I haven't used this in quite a while, and it's still one of my favorite everyday nude shades. It's just such a beautiful, like, warm tone nudie brown. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I just wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used my Kaja lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my eyes today, I wanted to go back into the ColourPop 1111 palette, because I haven't used ColourPop this week yet, and I've just been loving this palette, so I wanted to go back into it again. So I went in with Lucky Babe in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Perfect Harmony, and then I used Empowered and Divine on the outer corners, and then for the lid, I went in with Total Angel, and then I just used Blend Bunny's Brighter Days on the brow bone, and then for my inner corners, I just went in with Major Change. I just filmed a full get ready with me with this palette because I talked all about Fourth Wing, and that was the only topic of the video, is that I wanted to talk all about Fourth Wing because I finished it earlier this week and I'm on the second book, and I just could not wait to talk about it. And I'm going to be doing a lot of book get ready with me's and talk about the books that I've read because I'm just obsessed. I can't stop reading. I love it. And then I went into the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Brown, the Limitless Brown shade. And then I just used the Tower 28 mascara, and then I just went in with my Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It spray and the Say Star Glow Super Gel Primer. And then for my face, I just went into the Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen. And then I just went into the Tower 28 concealer in the shade BH because I love this concealer. And then I set my under eyes with the Becca powder, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the ColourPop Laguna Beach stick again because I really wanted to use it. And then for my blush, I went in with the, I'm just like blanking. I just want to go. I've been talking for a while. Jesus fucking Christ. I went in with, this magnet is like so bad that like it doesn't stay, but whatever. I went in with Margin and Harmony from MAC. It's gonna fall constantly on my cheeks. And then for my highlight, I went into the Anastasia highlighter in the shade Starlight. Another oldie but a goodie. It's just so pretty. And then I set my face with the Rare Beauty spray, and then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Blush Gel. And then for my lips, I went into the Say lip oil in the shade Push. I just didn't feel like using anything too crazy. I just wanted to use a lip oil. So yeah, that's it. I'm just hanging out with my boyfriend today. So bye.